Hey guys, this video is regarding the presidential campaign about to happen in November 8th. It's a very important video. I see a lot of people out there writing in Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has endorsed Hillary Clinton. He has told us loud and clear he will do everything in his power to have Hillary Clinton elected President of the United States. That's his mission in this world at this point in time. Currently, that is what he wants to do. He does not want to be president. We should have understood that months ago. He does not want, and therefore doesn't need, our support to be president. Now, for those people saying that a vote for a third party is a wasted vote, or even a betrayal of some kind, I cannot imagine a better way to waste your vote than going to go vote for Bernie Sanders when he's not even on the ballot. Jill Stein, Hillary Clinton, and Donald Trump have said that this election might be the most important in our lifetime. Let me tell you something. I agree with them. This might be the most important election in our lifetime, and if we don't vote correctly, it could be one of our last ones. Not just because of the threat of war if we elect Hillary Clinton, just imagine what will happen to our planet if we continue these horrible practices. We are destroying our planet, and nobody seems to care. Chris Hedges, he explained this in very simple terms when he endorsed Jill Stein. He said, "From climate change alone, we have no time to waste." I'm going to read you something from President Obama. In December 2015, he said the following. He said, "Today, there is no greater threat to our planet than climate change. No challenge poses a greater threat to our future generations than climate change. It is indeed one of the biggest threats facing our planet today. Climate change is the threat multiplier. If another country threatened to wipe out an American town, we'd do everything in our power to protect ourselves. Climate change poses the same threat right now. Years from now, I want to be able to look at our children and grandchildren in the eye and tell them we did everything we could to protect them." Now, Bernie Sanders has also stated that climate change is our biggest challenge, and Hillary Clinton has included a small agenda in the political platform of the Democratic Party. Let's face it, that Democratic Party political platform was written on water. It doesn't mean anything to us. They will not be held accountable for anything that they write on there. We've seen it happen all the time. Yes, Bernie Sanders believes it is written in that little blue book he shows us all the time, but let's be real. They are more interested in financial transactions. Both President Obama and Hillary Clinton are more interested on commerce. They just pretend to be concerned about climate change. Let's be clear here. Their actions speak way louder than their words. We all know that those wars in the Middle East are oil wars. On top of that, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama have done nothing, next to nothing, in regards to the North Dakota pipeline standoff these days. And Hillary Clinton is probably more worried about business opportunities and economic growth policies to keep her Clinton Foundation and Bill Clinton Incorporated floating. It makes absolutely no sense why we are backing these individuals when they have just time and time and time again shown us that they do not care about what happens to people like us. Hardworking people that go to work every single day at 9 in the morning, and we drive back every single afternoon at 5 in the afternoon, and we spend 2 hours in traffic, and what do we get for this? Nothing. And we are falling into this trap, believing that they actually care about climate change, but they don't. And this is the biggest threat right now, guys. This is why we, the working people, need to break the political monopoly that they have on this country. Two parties are not only corrupt, these two parties in particular are also obsolete. Now, there has been a quantitative change in the world in the last century, and this really ended up translating into a qualitative change. Humanity went from being a small biosystem in a big planet, or what seemed to be a big planet at the time, to being a big biosystem in what is ultimately a small planet. Here's the thing. The political, social, and economic paradigms did not evolve at the same pace. Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, they all keep talking about these issues from the point of public finances, trade policies, political science, and that's pretty much it, nothing else. Anyways, and they even speak of education as a means to prepare the qualified working force. There's only one candidate who has really looked at what's going on and has adopted a more holistic approach. Is it perfect? No, but it's better, far better than any other option that we have right now. And that is Jill Stein. Now, here are 3 items in our political platform that I will read to you. Number 3 is ecological wisdom. Human societies must function with the understanding that we are part of nature, not separate from nature. We must maintain an ecological balance and live with the ecological and resource limits of our communities and our planet. We support a sustainable society that utilizes resources in such a way that future generations will benefit and not suffer from the practices of our generation. To this end, we must practice agriculture that replenishes the soil, move to an energy-efficient economy, and live in ways that respect the integrity of natural systems. Do you understand what this means, guys? She is talking about the California drought. She is talking about us not being able to fish as much anymore, about us running out of farmable land and drinkable water, about everything that we should really, truly be worried about. Because that's more scary than anything else that the candidates have ever brought up. Number 6 is community-based economics. We support redesigning our structures to encourage employee ownership and workplace democracy. We support developing a new economic activity and institution that allows us to use technology in ways that are humane, freeing, ecological, and responsive and accountable to communities. We support establishing a form of basic economy security open to all. We call for moving beyond the narrow job ethic to new definitions of work, jobs, and income in a cooperative and democratic economy. We support restructuring our patterns of income redistribution to reflect the wealth created by those outside the formal monetary economy, those who take responsibility for parenting, housekeeping, home gardens, community volunteer work, and the like. We support restricting the size and concentrated power of corporations without discouraging superior efficiency or technological innovation. What this means to us is that companies like Schwann's and Tyson will no longer be able to look at us and say, let them eat cake. This basically says we need to focus on the people that matter to us, the people that are really making a difference in this world. That is who deserves to get paid. That is who deserves to be heard, to be human again. We've forgotten what it is like to be human. We've forgotten what it's like to be that woman that is raising 5 children in a home with just 1 income. We have forgotten all of that. Alright, guys? We're not thinking about anything else. Okay, so when humanity was a small biosystem in a big planet, or what, like I said, what seemed to be a big planet, it was okay to act like if there was an infinite amount of resources available for economic growth. It really felt like the sky was the limit. Maximum growth or maximum profit back then were sound criteria for economic planning. However, in the current scenario of a big biosystem in a small planet, what is actually a small planet, we need to plan to satisfy human needs with a minimum of environmental impact. Because of that, clean energy policy is not enough, and that's what Clinton is offering. And an unclean energy policy is undesirable. You can guess who's proposing that one. If we do not manage to push Jill Stein into the political arena, we are going to get a compromise among these 2 positions, and it's not even the lesser evil. It just isn't, guys. They are completely shifting our focus. They are making us focus on something that has nothing to do with what we really need. We do not need a compromise between clean energy policy and unclean energy policy. We need an entire shift with our entire infrastructure. We really do. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe there's certain areas where Hillary Clinton is horrible compared to Donald Trump, and vice versa. Neither of them have the answers that we need. Neither of them are even talking about what needs to be talked about. I don't know. Who really knows what they're planning? They might just be thinking about killing all human beings that are of no economic value to a technological oligarchy. I don't know. Who knows? They might actually just move to Mars. Who really knows? What really matters at this point is that we are no longer a small biosystem in a big planet. That is the key. That's what we need to focus on. The Worldwide Fund for Life published in 2016 a report, and it has horrible news, guys. By 2020, which by the way is the next time that we will have another presidential election, two-thirds, guys, of the species that have existed since 1970 will be extinct. 2/3 of the species that existed in 1970 will be extinct by the year 2020. This isn't just because carbon dioxide emissions, and it's not just climate change. In the last century, we have created an environment where life is not suitable. Life has not adapted to what we've created on this planet. We need to take measures to revert what we have done. We need to revert this negative impact on our environment due to our economic activity. Do you really think that we have the time to waste writing in Bernie because we're heartbroken? Do we have time for another 4 years of excuses of Democrats and Republicans looting the public treasure to kill people? If we cannot deliver that structural change right now, you can forget about your free college. You can forget about health insurance, family leave, all those things that they keep promising us and telling us that we deserve. We're not going to need them anymore. We simply won't, because there won't be an us anymore. So just take a moment to think about all this, guys. You know, watch a few documentaries, get educated. We really are hurting, guys. By the year 2050, we will not be able to make enough food to feed everybody. We will be so overpopulated, we won't be able to feed people, we won't be able to give people jobs, we won't be able to do anything that they are promising us right now. By the year 2050, that will happen in our lifetime. And it will impact our children the worst.